on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is, you show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the Todd Fox Postgame Podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is, fuck! Hey, welcome into another episode of the Todd Fox Postgame Show. No makeup today, no clown outfit, but boy, did the bullpen play like clowns. Or, you know what, you can call it what it is. It could have been the weather, the air, whatever it was, Easter Sunday playing in some sort of part to this, but in front of 31,000, I never have seen in one game, or at least in a long time, where it just seemed like every break that was imaginable fell, or every hit, little Texas leaguer, it just fell right where it had to go. Every pitch, and then you saw Angel pitchers today. I don't know if you noticed, mostly the right-handed pitchers for the Angels, overthrowing fastballs inside, up and in towards the head high of the opposing batters. I was tripping out that more batters weren't hit, number one. And then number two, where the fuck was the strike zone? The strike zone was all over the place. You saw pitches that were right there. Even Gooby, my boy Giddy for Gooby, was like, hey, that's a strike. It's like a foot inside, and he was like, nah, it's a ball. And then he throws a pitch like another like foot or two outside, and he's like, strike. It's like, what the hell are you calling? It doesn't make any sense. It was up, down, all over the place. You couldn't tell, and I'll leave it to Grillmaster to find the algorithms or whatever site he goes to, which grades the umpires for this particular game. That umpire was shit trash. I mean, he was garbage. It was garbage today, and that was not just for the Angels. I'm not going to sit here and be like a Halo honk and be like, oh, it was woe is us. It was the pitching. It was the umpires. No. What happened today was a myriad, like everything falling into place for Toronto. Not off the bat, though. Kikuchi started this game, and we're going to go over the stats and what happened today because it's not like it was a clean game. The Angels did their, I mean, at the end, we were like, but in the beginning of the game, we were actually off to a good start. We were happy. The Angels were doing their thing, and we got completely buttercupped at one point of this game because, and might as well play the song here because it's only fitting.
Why do you build me up?
Buttercup, baby, just to let me down. A 6-run lead.
Mess me around and
give up 10 straight. And then 2 more. What the fuck?
I need you more than
all right, enough of that song because it was just trash. It was trash. You had a 6-run lead. Everything's looking good. It's like Detmers is cruising, and then all of a sudden we get to about the 5th or 6th inning, and Detmers has about 73 pitches, and then it's like a single, a hit batter, an infield single, a hit batter, and then Chapman comes up and just annihilates the first pitch. A grand freaking slam. It's 6-4. And then Tapera, I mean, look, those weren't hard hit balls at all. It's just some of these outfielders are playing so deep because these hitters are so dangerous. They were just Texas leaguers blooping in all over the place, finding the holes. The gap's not there. Maybe if the shift is there last year, things would be different, but no. So let's go over the scoring real quick. Rendon singled in Ohtani to make it 1-0. Hunter Renfroe continued to be hot. He was really hot today. 2-run homer to make it 3-0. Ohtani homered to make it 5-0. It looked like the game was over after Ohapi's home run, but like I said, the grand slam. Then Kiermaier tripled in 2 to tie it. Chapman singled to center. 2 more. 1 run would score. Then Merrifield singled. Guerrero scored, and then Kiermaier again came through in the 7th inning, 2 runs. They batted around 10-6. Drury homered. Rendon was hit by a pitch. It looked like the Angels were going to win it there in the bottom of the 9th inning, but magically Drury struck out after Renfroe had doubled in the tying run. Now here's my thing though: why the hell did not Phillips come around? In hindsight, being what it is right now, make that full run. Make that full run. He's supposed to be so fast. On a double with 2 outs, why the hell was he not at least making a deep turnaround third? I don't know what happened there, but he didn't read the ball. I know it didn't carry him that far off the left field wall, but I still think you send him right there. Also, Kiermaier would double off of Estevez. Another thing that grinds my gears, what pisses me off, again, I've said it before the last 2 years, and I'll say it again. Whether it's Madden or Nevin, what is the obsession with throwing a supposed closer in on a tie ball game? It makes no sense. Never has to me, never will. I mean, the only time you ever do that is in the postseason, and you're fighting to keep the game tied. You don't do that in a tie ball game. It makes no sense in the regular season. It just doesn't. So again, let me get to I didn't even get into what do you call it? Well, we're going to talk about 714 tickets. I got to give that out there. I'm so angry. 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Go today. Or no, I see it's backwards. Buy today, go tonight, whatever you feel like doing. But either way, put in Heaty in the promo code, which is HITI. You get 10% off automatically, and then you get 5% off your next purchase. Plus, you get into a drawing for a free jersey courtesy of both of us. So there you go. 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Well, I got a lot to talk about real quick before I get into the comments. I will get there. We will get phone calls. Everything will come up rosy when it comes to that. Kikuchi, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed, 6 earned runs. He gave up 3 home runs. He looked terrible. Detmers was cruising until he got to the 6th inning. He had 5 innings pitched with no runs, but magically leaves with a line of surrendering 5 runs on 5 strikeouts. Wantz came in there, pitched okay, but it was Tepera's bad performance, giving up 4 runs on 3 hits, including a hit batter, and then Estevez shit the bed in the extra innings. And here's the thing, too. If you give it 1 run right there, I'm fine with that, because obviously the Angels got 1 back in the bottom of the 10th. But when you're giving up multiple runs, you better be able to score, and you can't do it. So I just don't see it. Real quick, Jaime says, well, if Estevez there was the right move, who else should have pitched? Anybody but a closer. Because a closer does not have a closer mentality in a tie ball game. I don't care what you say. If you like the matchups, I would have went with anybody else but him. I'm telling you right now, watch how many times the percentages work. When you bring in a pitcher that's just pitched in a high-pressure situation in a tie ball game, who's used to coming in a tie ball game, down 1 run, up 1 run, opposed to a closer who's in there looking to close the game. I'm telling you, these pitchers are really set on doing certain things. Now let's get into the awards. You all know, if you've been following the page, it's much better over there on YouTube. So if you want to skip Instagram and go over to YouTube, YouTube's got better crap, better quality, better everything, Papa John's. But real quick, let's go over to the Stamos Award, awarded to the best player on the field today. And I have to give it to some douchebag I really hate. I hate doing this. Yes, it's the Golden Stamos, and the Golden Stamos goes to, unfortunately, Chapman for your Toronto Blue Jays. He had a big game today with the 5 RBIs, the grand slam. I mean, we only got him out, I think, once in the game. So this was the disappointing, Jason says we should have won the series. Absolutely. If they would win tomorrow, I predicted the first 10 games, the Angels would be 7-3. They should have been 7-3, but no, you take a loss here. You lost the first game in a bad performance, so it's like, dude, come on. You blew 2 games in a row. Now let's get to Nacho Knight, who was the worst player on the field, and I hate doing this too.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos. All the nachos. All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole.
Well, who gets the Nacho Knight Award? Well, the Nacho Knight Award goes to, drum roll please, and the guy I really wanted to have a breakout season, but he's starting out a little slow, Louis Renifo, he went 0 for 5 today, including 4 strikeouts. That is your second golden sombrero for your Halos in less than 10 games. That is still not a good look. Now, again, they're hitting the ball, making much more contact. You know, again, what gets overshadowed today is the Hunter Renfroe game, who should have gotten the star of the game had they won. With the 5 RBIs, everything going good. He had 3 or 4 hits. He looked really good. But you have to give it to Chapman because he hit the grand slam that got Toronto rolling on a 10 straight runs, unanswered. So you had that, and I would have given it to Renfroe, and then I didn't want to give it to Renifo. You know, and you would say, well, why not give it to Tepera? But Tepera wasn't hit around. You know what I mean? Renifo left 4 or 5 guys on base. Tepera? Just those were bleeders. Those were off the end of the bat. I mean, those weren't. I mean, with the exception of him hitting the hitter, he really didn't get hit hard in this game. So it's not like they were hitting home runs and crap off of him. So very, very, very tough loss for the Angels today. And again, you know, it's more along the lines of, hey, you know, we're not losing here in April and everything else like that. You know, we're not losing. But these are games where already 3 of your 4 losses you could have won. Really, only one game you went out there and you got spanked, and that was one game in Seattle. Other than that, you've been in every game. You've blown 3 games already. So 3 games already in your first 9 you've lost that you could have won because of bullpen issues. And that kind of sucks. And it's a little early not to hit the panic button. But in one aspect, you got to look at yourself and say, okay, well, right now, hitting wise, we got good things going. You know, the 5 through 9 is not the worst in the league like it was last year. We're hitting the ball, we're making contact. We got a good catcher for once, and you know, scoring runs is not the problem. Hell, you score 11 runs, 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10, you win ball games. So when you lose 12 to 11, that sucks, and it was totally preventable. Totally preventable. So we're going to get into all these things. We're going to talk about how the game wound up and get your comments. I want to know what you guys are feeling right now. 9 games in, is this what you felt the Angels were going to be this year? Are they working up to your expectations through the first 9, or is there some issues going on that you're still, because obviously I could call out the pitching right now in the bullpen. Starting pitching hasn't been all that bad, but again, you had Detmers who had a bad 6th inning. That's all it was. You've had 2 bad starts here by Suarez and Detmers, if you want to call it like that. Detmers was cruising up until then, but damn, this one's just tough, man. This one leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth because these are the Toronto Blue Jays that a lot of people picked to either win that division or be there for that division and be one of the top teams in the league. And you played toe-to-toe with them in 3 baseball games and came up short twice because self-inflicted wounds. You did not lose those games because they beat you, I feel. I think we beat ourselves and lost these games. Timmy Bartle says LA Angels is ass as fuck. Well, thank you, Timmy. Dosadilla says, don't want to hear anything about Ohtani wanting to play with a winning team when had the chance to in a clutch play. And you know what? There's something right there to look at there too, because his last walk-off hit, Ohtani, was 2020 that they brought up. So that's been a while. And Sydney's right there. Garbage-ass ump today. Absolutely. What's up, Jamie Lannister? Also send everyone homeless on this calendar. Here we go with the crazy comments by Grillmaster. Just to hear the good old rant dip. Here we are. Can't trust out the bullpen right now. David says. Ramon says you got to be able to close out games when you're up 6-0. Absolutely. Was that CB Buckner? Sean wants to know. Randy says, but hey, we hit the shit out of the ball like Andrew said. We're gonna score a shit ton of runs this year. We are, but we got to tighten up that bullpen. Who were the umpires today? Grillmaster. Yeah, he's gonna let you know. Like, bro, 12 runs, you can't blame the umps. These pitchers are literal shit. Listen, Timmy, I'm not blaming the umps. I'm not coming through here and saying, oh, it's the umps' fault. What I'm saying is the strike zone was god-awful for both sides. That contributed to the runs scoring for both sides. So I'm not making excuses. What I'm doing is the fact that the Angels pitchers were missing high up in the zone. I don't know why they were overthrowing their fastballs, but I did not notice that too much from Toronto. Toronto was keeping their pitches down, and the Angels were actually having really good at-bats there. There was a couple guys like Renifo who didn't have a good game, but there was too many pitches up in the zone, I felt, for the Angels, and especially like by Estevez and some of these guys trying to close out at-bats when they had 2 strikes on a hitter, and they were throwing some really nasty pitches right down the middle, dude. So it was a fun game to watch, Sydney. I agree right there, but it was a butt clincher. Beat goes, uh-oh. Also, Angels bullpen blows as always. Tepera, loop, Jim can't decide. Also, typical incompetent pitching by Ryu. Randy says it was pretty good damn series though. Could see this team in October. That is true, Randy. That's 3 games we could have won. Absolutely. I mean, you could sit there and say this team could be 8-1 right now, but I mean, they're going to take losses. They won a couple games they shouldn't. So the law of averages probably evens out at this point. So 5-4 through the first 9. I'm okay with as long as we win tomorrow. If we go 6-4 in our first 10, I'm good with that, considering the fact that no one's gotten off to a hot start in this division. Oakland's dog shit. Texas sucks. Seattle's got off to a slow start, and Houston's a little banged up, and they're slowing down too. But when those teams are down and you have games where you could say, oh, it's only 9 games in, how far ahead are you going to get ahead of these teams? Well, you still can put some pressure on those teams, or you still can get ahead of them. I mean, what, you want to be tied with them? So, I mean, when other teams are down, the Angels aren't exactly hurt for once, so maybe you can get ahead of them. Just get a couple games. It's going to boost your confidence and get you going. And it's not like you're going to win the division right now, but these are games that you could use later on. What a wild game. Fuck a bloop. Right there, Nats fan says. Also, one with a dominant bullpen, Ramon says. So many low inside pitches called for strikes. The umpire was terrible. He was. Thank you, Matt. Demetrio says Tepera and Loop are like crooked boobs on a chick. You know what? If it didn't work last year, they should have switched it up this year. Nick also says wants clutch for the Jays. Sean Norton says pitching, snitching, witching. Also, Timmy says, nah, we have bad days hitting and pitching, but Tepera and Loop got to go. Love seeing you guys on the weekend, brother. James, too, and as well as Rendon himself. Appreciate everything, brother. Absolutely, bro. You're welcome here every time as my computer checks out again, or at least the one in the background does. Pitch clock has a lot to do with these wicked games. Deep, important moments are all. Yeah, exactly. If you're automatically being chased out of the batter's box or into the batter's box or on the mound, and you really can't read a sign, it's kind of tough to. It's kind of tough to be out there and feel the moment, dude. A lot of these guys are in the moment. Oscar says, what up, Todd? What's up? How's it going, Oscar? They kept hitting it where they weren't. Exactly. That was tough to see today. Rendon did play good today. Jim was there. He says, the only thing that was positive was free Chick-fil-A. Also, James fixed the back screen. Also, remember when we almost quit on Renfroe, but he actually clutched up. He's been playing really good. Trotta here says, now we need to teach the pitchers how to field the ground balls. Yeah, that was embarrassing. Phillips should have scored in the 9th, guys. I mean, I wasn't even there, and I could see that he should have. When you have the bases loaded, 3 balls and 2 strikes, I believe it was to Renfroe. I may be wrong on that one, but it's down the line. You're running on 2 outs anyway. They teach you that. You're on the team for one reason. Why the hell did you not score right there? Or even turn the corner, dude? I would have sent him, because what's the worst that can happen? He gets thrown out at home. You go to extra innings anyway. Estevez has not shown that he's a true closer, yeah, and he hasn't had too many opportunities, but he came out there and was, again, I don't like these guys in tie ball games. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys agree. Maybe you guys disagree. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you who's right and who's wrong. It's just my feeling and my experience, what I've seen. Just go back. If you ever seen Frankie Rodriguez regular season, Hall of Famer in my opinion and a lot of people's opinions, and Troy Percival, same thing. Bring those guys in a tie ball game and see what happens. And look what happened in their career. I'm just leave it right there. Just look it up. Yup, this team is cursed with horrible bullpen management. Our managers always can't figure out what the fuck. Estevez better start learning Chinese. Oh, my God. Go today, go tonight. Yeah, Estevez says there was the right move. Who else would have pitched? Well, I just don't see it right there. Ohtani was too aggressive. Their pitchers could get anyone out, and Ward was drawing after Ward was drawing a walk. Sorry. Ohtani did. I thought that first pitch, I know he doesn't swing first pitch all the time, but God damn, that first pitch was a meatball right down the middle. And then the other 2 were just down inside, and they just jammed them. I mean, it's terrible. We better not lose to the Nationals. Exactly. I see you says score 11 runs and lose. Angels way right there. Easy turbo. 714 tickets sounds like 3 monsters in 5 minutes. Sam says also, I think by June, Renifo will be on the bench. Urshela and Drury are ideal middle infielders. They are playing good, but Renifo I thought would be where they are right now. And Urshela, what I like about him, he's not trying to hit home runs. He's getting singles, getting on bases. That's all you want. Nevin has been making a bad call. Batting practice has been terrible, too. What happened to the BP of last year? We had no BP from last year unless they change it at the end. Also, Angels blowpen strikes again. Jesus says we better sweep the Nats. Well, yeah, because taking 2 out of 3 and then 2 out. I mean, look, all I care about is winning series, but we lost our first series right here. We should have won this one, dude. Also, we can't. Can we have Ward cloned, especially with his eye? Yeah, he's really good out there. Tell us how you really feel, Todd. Beat says the bullpen of ours got to be a new addition into the FBI's most wanted list for domestic terrorism. Yeah, they'd be hurting some Angel feelings, that's for sure. Friday and Sunday were the blowpen, ICU says. Timmy says, why take Jaime out? We was tough as fuck. We'll see. Look. Guys like that, you could have, in theory, pitched him another inning. He's used to pitching 4 or 5 innings, and he's used to pitching in tie ball games or games where we're up by 4 or down by 4. So why not? I'm calling a Joyce call-up in the next 2 weeks. Well, I would pump your brakes a little bit on that one, Sydney, and no offense, only because you saw what happened to him in the minor leagues the other day. I love the guy. Trust me, I'm a big fan of his. But he walked 4 straight on a no-hitter, blew a no-hitter for the Trash Pandas, and then they proceeded to give up 7 runs after winning, or they were up 3-0, I believe, in the 9th inning. So, yeah, he tried to close that one out and it didn't work out, or try to combine a no-hitter and it didn't work out. We should have had this series, absolutely, Jason. Jose Quijada for Angels closer. He could have did it. I would have, but then again, we weren't in the lead. If we were in the lead, I would have went for him. But Estevez, he was been nodded our closer, and it's between him and Quijada, and I just don't like that, man. And I hate that on runner on second rule too. Also, fuck Chapman. Dylan says I can't. In your Randy voice, Jim says. Also, Jake says, why did we walk Kevin Kiermaier in the 10th inning with 1 out and runner on third? Should have gone for the double play. That could have been a move right there. Jim agrees. At least they're still in first place, Jamie says. Exactly, but you could have a couple game lead, and it's always look, if we lost this game 10-1, you turn the page, you get angry at whatever happened, then you turn the page. But when you lose a game you should have won, 6-0 lead in baseball usually gets you a win. It usually does. And, well, the Angels found an Angels way to lose. Jesus says Angels should have won the series. The blowpen was ass. Also, why do we do many Angel killers? We do have a lot of Angel killers out there. Mountain Dew King says 2 out of 3 against Washington or a sweep. I agree. Toronto spanked our butts last year in a 4-game home series. Yeah, and we let them off the hook this time. Fernando checks in, says, I was saying all season I was told I was sold on Louis Renifo, or I wasn't sold on Louis Renifo. So Fernando was calling it right there that he wasn't sold on him right there. Also, let's see. Sam says there isn't a single Angels bullpen pitcher that has looked good this season. Yeah, they've struggled out the gate, haven't they? Anonymous artist says I don't know why they intentionally walked Kurt Kiermaier. He's on fire right now. Yeah, they should have. Absolutely, good call, guys. Hayes says also Estevez, a good Colorado pitcher. That's about it. And that's hard to say. Angels losing winnable games because we do not have anyone in our bullpen. And you know what? The assets that we've occurred, and a guy like Adele, who's, again, tearing it up in AAA, 5 home runs in 5 days, let's just send him off for some pitching, right? Get some other guys sent off. Hell, throw in Theis. We need some bullpen pieces. I hate to say it this early, but unless this is just a slow start, we need some help. In my opinion, we should have swept these guys 2 out of 3 at least, man. Exactly, Randy. Exactly. 81-81 at best if stuff like this today continues. Also, yes, calls are coming, Mountain Dew King. Just got to give it some time. I got to get through the comments. Relax. Jamie says, on the bright side, they've been almost in every game. They sure have. I feel mentally raped, JT says. Yeah, Dylan, our 14-game losing streak started against the Blue Jays. If I'm not mistaken, I think it did. Remember how we started at 30 games? Yes, I know. We started really good last year, and that's the thing. That's why we're all apprehensive. We're all taking this with a grain of salt. Even if we got off to a 7-3 start, even if we got off to a really hot April, we have to see how things go. Nats fan says tomorrow the Nats pitcher will be Patrick Corbin against the Angels. I think he's 0-2. He's been lit up, or he's 0-1, something like that. But he's been lit up, and then we got Suarez. He's got to get in there and pitch good. Our losses, as you described, 333%. Also, Suarez, Corbin, ultimate mid pitchers right there. Also, let's see. They're playing as I expected, held back by the terrible bullpen. Bullpen freaking sucks. Trouta here says, Timmy says, it just feels like last year, to be honest, a slightly better offense, horrible. Dude, I think it's a way better offense. I don't even think we've seen the best of this offense yet. Again, when Walsh comes back, he's going to provide a spark. You're going to have more players than you will. You're going to have you're going to have a deep bench. So the hitting is going to be there. I have no doubt the hitting is going to get better as we move on. I just think right now we got to solidify those bullpen roles, and some guys got to take those roles by the horns and hold on to them, because right now they're not. They're making it harder and harder for these guys, Matt Wise and Nevin, to make these moves late in games or even in mid-relief. Today was not all that bad. Last year they would have not come back from 4 runs down. That's true. Let's see. Vet says, also, Tani needs to chill when the game is on the line. He's a little bit too aggressive in the last inning. Maybe I'm just mad because we should have won those games. Well, yeah, it's hindsight being what it is. Went from 6-0 to 7-6 in 2 innings. Oscar says we need John Lackey back. Also, you got at Met. You're right there. CB Buckner has something against us. Hopefully, we don't have many games where he's the head umpire. Well, he was also against Toronto. 3 games lost with leads going into the 6th inning. That's terrible, Chandler. Umpire reminded me of Eric Gregg in 1997. That was a horrible calls. Check it out in the LCS. Also, our team is definitely cursed. Trouta here says, also, Tepera and Loop were with the Rays. They just suck. They sucked. So I'm not surprised that they're blowing over here. Martin says the Angels are undefeated with a halo. Honk clown at the game. Bring back the clown. I'm 1-0, man. Don't give me too much credit. I got a lot of requests to dress up in the clown stuff for the next game. So we'll see. Speaking of Ohtani, observation: Ohtani giveaways after trade deadline. All Trout stuff. Keep your eyes on this. Very telling. Ooh, that could be. Angels will end their playoff drought this season. Don't worry about it, people and Angels fans. And I think they will. I think they are gonna freaking end the drought this year. It's hard to see right now with a bullpen, but remember, it is April and they're trying to sort things out. I'd much rather them be scoring some runs right now than have a hot bullpen than a cold bullpen later. I'd rather them be able to figure out the bullpen as we move along. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Who knows? No Ohtani giveaways after the All-Star break. There goes the screen again. God damn this thing. Also, Honk Honk 714 chiming in as I'm trying to fix this at the same time. We'll see how that goes right now. Yeah. There you go. Also, nothing wrong with helping yourself out today. No sweeping of the Nats, Jamie says. Also, this is why we never get into the playoffs if we never win our division and lose against teams we're supposed to win. This happens all the time. Yvette also says, I don't want to face the Rays ranked right now. Yvette, yeah, they are hot, but they're playing Oakland. I mean, they beat up on Oakland 11-0 on consecutive days. I thought they posted the same score twice, but it's the same thing. Matt says, just like everyone else is saying, man, we had that game. Angels need to sweep the Nats. Also, Jamie says, facing Patrick Corman and Josiah Gray next 2 games, no excuses to lose the next 2. Exactly, those 2 pitchers are terrible. Now, the rookie they got coming up, yes. Got to send Phillips house money anyways. Exactly, Chandler. Oh, my God. I'm going to give you a honk, and that wasn't even a honk comment. Also, XNC says we should have won today in the home opening. Gosh, Sean says Urshela been solid. Heard radio broadcast Langston giving him some strong credit because he's a throwback. He's a good hitter. Inside out swing. He can go the other way. He's a good hitter, good base runner, and he's an excellent fielder. I mean, he's a steal, at a 1-year contract, which sucks because he's on a 1-year contract, and most likely every 1-year contract brought in by Perry usually leaves. So get used to him for right now because I don't think he'll be here next year. If this pen was even average, we'd have swept. I agree. Dylan says, I hate the extra innings rule. We can never take advantage of the ghost runner. Yes, because no wonder why. We never bunt. Ever with a free runner at second. Every other team in the league will take the bunt. Every other team will swing the other way to ground out to sacrifice. Every other team takes advantage of that. The Angels never do. And since that record came in the last 2 years, or the rule about the runner at second base, the Angels are something like 9 or 10 games under 500. The only team to be that bad is the Rays, not the Rays, the Tigers. We're the only team. The only team that just does, even the Tigers at times can take advantage of that. We can't. We don't. We refuse. Angels need to buy tonight, and Estevez needs, or Angels need to buy tonight, and Estevez here bobbleheads, or I don't know. This comment was all jumbled up, and you know what I mean, Randy, if you're watching. I even bought an Ohtani jersey. He's pissed off. Marty says Phillips is an expensive player to just to put on the field for a home run hat on dudes. Yeah, he is. And also, he should have ran home. I never liked Estevez. We need someone else for our closer. EQ says fire Phil Nevin. Greg is checking in. Nationals are in rebuilding mode. And then Matt is saying James. Jim says we need to DFA Pujols in May. DFA loop. Beat says hope the Nats don't clap us into a rebuild loss. LOL. Ben Joyce is for sure not quite ready. Yeah, he's not yet. I never heard about that. Yeah, let's wait a little bit on Joyce. I do believe Joyce will be up here at some point, but he's a little wild, so it's going to take him a little bit. So look for either a September call-up or after the All-Star break if he starts to get on fire, which he started okay, but or he had a rough start last year and then he got it going. So we'll see. Trash Panda's wild pitching. Also, Javier says, I hate the L for today, but love the way the team came back with the hits. Exactly. They put together good rallies. How have you not heard it? It's everywhere, Timmy says. Also, Joe Adele Phillips, however, he wouldn't be playing much, so maybe AAA is good. Yeah, Odell right now, if I'm the Angels, you have a solid outfield. I hate saying it. There are a lot of honks that freaking love Odell. I would love for him to flourish, but can he? Will he? Defensively, liability. And right now, with the pitching being the way it is, do you really want a liability out there in the outfield? Right now, if he can get his stock up to where someone says, hey, I'll take a flyer on him, I'll offer you a draft pick, low draft pick and a mid-range bullpen guy who's kind of proven, or a veteran bullpen arm from our team that, like it's one of these like Pittsburgh, St. Louis, or one of these teams in the National League. Yes, I would do that deal. If you can get a pitcher back, let him try to find himself in another organization that needs an outfielder where he can get the playing time. Because that's another thing that's hurt Adele. He just doesn't have or hasn't had the playing time. And then when he gets it, he shits the bed. So he's going to need a real full-on last chance or second chance, because I don't think we've given him a true second chance. We failed Theis the same way. That's why Theis sucks and he can never find his swing in the majors. Andrew Rivas says these two runs Kiermaier knocked in the 6th and 7th inning were huge. They sure were. Joe Adell's 6th straight game with a home run. Well, there you go, Alex. He just keeps pushing his stock up. I heard the at-bat. I didn't know Joyce had anything to do with it. He did. Timmy says, nah, Quijada is looking good as far as Jaime Biera. Only 2, though. Wants ain't bad, too bad. Also, I love Renifo still. Well, yeah, I don't hate Renifo. I just think he can be a little bit better. He's been a little slow right now. Offense is great. Jaime says tomorrow the Angels are going to win. Ruben's checking in right there. Need a closer, Jim says. Also, Trout needs to learn to hit the high velocity, his one weakness. Yeah, he seems to be just, he missed that one pitch. I believe, what was it, the 8th inning or whatever? Or was it the 9th inning? But they had an opportunity, and usually that's his pitch, and he just missed it. But if he could hit those high ones, good God, he'd be an even better hitter. So hopefully that's just a slow start for him. Expect they are striking out too much. 14 strikeouts, true, but they're making more contact, which makes no sense. Adele hit 2 home runs today. 2 more, damn. We got to trade him. Usually don't say I'm an Adele believer, but he just can't perform in the big show. I'm right there with you, Sydney. Hitting better. Hitting was good during this series. 9 runs and 11 runs. Can't get much better than that. Exactly. Randy says that's what you get with Ohtani. Take the good with the bad and get used to it. I'm just saying. Gloria says, hola, everyone. How you doing? Also, Randy says tech support. Rest in peace, Nick Aidenhart, Courtney Stewart, and Harry Pearson. Okay, let me address that because this game got me away from that. And shame on me for freaking forgetting what day this is. And I can tell you exactly where I was when that day happened. Nick Aidenhart passing away because some jackass was driving drunk. And, of course, that mother effer doesn't die. Unfortunately, that guy didn't die and is still alive and breathing somewhere. That piece of shit lives. As you know, if you've had any family, which I have had some family on a distant side, my distant cousin passed away from a drunk driver. Those people don't die. Like they could be so hopped up on alcohol, drugs, narcotics, whatever you want to call it. Adrenaline, and they'll smash their car. Hell, their car will explode with them in it, like someone I know, and just walk right out of the fucking car. Yet they hit the other car in a certain way and kill the other people innocently and instantly. It sucks. And that's what happened. One guy is severely deformed to this day. And his whole life has changed. He was the only survivor. And you lost Nick Aidenhart, and you lost Courtney Stewart and Henry Pearson. All gone in a heartbeat because some jackass wanted to have a few too many and then get behind the wheel. I mean, it sucks. And I remember where I was in that day when they said Nick Aidenhart died, and I was like, man, really, dude? The dude just pitched. I just watched his game just like everybody else. Super emotional. And as Angel fans, we've had to go through losses. We lost Skaggs. I was there at the no-hitter game when they had that game. I never cried at an open event like that, and I cried. It was tough. And it sucks because it's all relatable. When you lose someone like that, whether it's drugs, whether you lose them, heart attack, whatever, an accident, or it's just their time, death is a horrible thing. Horrible thing. And even if they're in hospice, it's just a longer time to see them go, like my mom. It sucks. So whenever you're reminded of death and everything, always, I mean, if you're a religious person or not, say a prayer, for those people that have lost somebody, or just freaking, send your condolences. Thoughts and prayers on freaking social media don't work. Write a nice comment. Take a nice, minute out of your life to write a nice comment. Give something heartfelt. Be there for somebody, because at some point we're going to lose somebody. You can be young as hell right now, 13, 15 years old like I was before I lost someone important to me. Or actually, I was 18 almost before I lost anyone important to me. And that sucked. And it was a freaking, what is it called? A reality check. Because when you finally lose someone that's important to you, man, that hits hard. That hits hard. So be there for somebody else, and at some point, someone's going to return the favor to you because, unfortunately, in this time, we all have ticking clocks on ourselves, and something's going to happen to someone we love or ourselves, and be there for people. That's my Jerry Springer thought of the day, but it's heartfelt. I feel it because, as a family, as a community, Angels fans, when there's an Angel fan on an Angel page and they lose somebody close to them, absolutely send that love. Donate something, go to the funeral. I've done that. And it's because people did that for me in my time of need. So always look to give back, and good things will happen to you. The good karma, whatever you want to believe in, it all works out, especially on a day like this. But reflecting on those that lost their lives, not just Nick Aidenhart, but anyone else that loses their lives in tragedies like this, in stuff that could have been preventable, because there it is. But thank you, Yvette, for bringing that up, because I almost forgot about that, and I would have been pissed if I did, because I had a couple people reminding me before this. But, you get emotionally caught up in the game and stuff like that, so I just wanted to put that out there. Jim says, got to watch Soto this week from left field, shaking his butt all week long. There you go. Let's see. Also, I'm fine with Urshela gone after this year. Neto is almost ready. Yeah, Neto's going to be the next superstar. You watch. Jamie's watching on there. Rough time today, Chris Fox says. Sucks our schedule is not easier than our teams in our division. Exactly. But we do have a favorable month. If you look at the rest of the schedule outside of the Boston-New York series, it's not all that bad. So you want to finish April with a winning record. Absolutely. Eddie says, well, we choked. I don't know how. The bullpen. Bring Bachman up. Bachman is getting closer. Scratch that Soto comment. Oh, there you go. Chris Fox says, Halos should ship out Joe Adell for a bullpen arm. That's what we were saying a little earlier. Adell to the Reds for Alexis Diaz. Well, that's a good pull right there. Marty Boylan says outfield looks solid both at the plate and on the field. And no Adell just yet, thanks. We got to get liability coverage when Adell plays on the major league roster. Exactly. Jim says Adell hoping to get lucky with a 9. Oh, jeez. Adell doesn't have a spot on this team. Should get rid of him. And it might be too early, but you got to do it. Martin says prayers up there for Aidenhart. I don't know how you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I've never been a fan of Nevin. Why the hell would he intentionally walk Kirk, who's batting 280 to get to Kiermaier, who's batting 300. How does that make sense? Exactly. I mean, Kirk's off to a slow start. He does draw a lot of walks and stuff, but still, you guys are right. Should have went after Kirk. I was at work and at lunch and instantly thought Lackey because the coworker said, hey, one of your pitchers died in a car crash. That was him back in the day, Randy, finding out it was that, yeah. Sterling says Angels are getting worse than the Tigers. I wouldn't say that just yet, Sterling. I remember watching Scott Boras crying. Such a rough day that was. Yeah, because, man, he was a good pitcher, and he was going to be around for a long time. I mean, there could be a chance, like, he would have been in the rotation for the Angels for the next 5-6 years after that. Gosh, I miss Skaggs so much. I saw 3 of his games here in Kansas City. He was such an incredible pitcher. When I found out he passed away, I was absolutely devastated. May he and Nick Adenhart rest in peace. Amen right there, Met 2002. When I heard what it was Nick, same thought. I was like, we just watched him pitch last night. Teared up all the time when I think back on him and looking at his picks. Hard to make memorials to him. And sports, you're not supposed to do that to players. You know what I mean? Like players, I remember when Darryl Kyle died for St. Louis and how it struck the St. Louis community. I mean, those things happen in the middle of the season. One moment you see the player at the stadium, especially if you're a season ticket holder, he passes away overnight and you're just, man, I mean, and you have his jersey hanging up and you're like, man, it's just so surreal because it brings things together where, life in sports, which you watch sports to get away from life and everything else that happened. When someone loses, you lose a player on the field, it brings reality back. You're like, damn, like we're all expendable here, so it sucks. Thanks for the comments right there, Matt and Dylan. Angel says, I think Adele gets his own head playing in the majors. He performs so well in the minors, but loses it in the majors. That's the problem that we said last year, Angel. If you were with us, we said that he is in dire need of a psychiatrist, a team psychiatrist, because he does read the headlines. He does interact with fans, and he does hear the chatter. And I think he just needs to block all that out. Like for me, I think he needs to get to guys like Rendon and other players who've been there and done that, study them, talk with them, or talk with a psychiatrist, because the ability's there. He's a genetic freak, and he's got all the ability to be amazing. But he does. You're so right. He gets in his head, and that's it, man. Demetrio says, I hope this isn't like the year 2000, best offense ever, most ass pitching. I don't know, Demetrio. If you can go back into the 90s, there was way bigger ass pitching. Neto hits the ball so hard, Sydney says. Please remember to take like and subscribe on YouTube. Yes, please do that. We would really appreciate that. Sal says, damn, we had this one. We can't let these games get away like that. Go Angels. Thank you so much there. Let's see also. Yeah, and it's much better feed over on YouTube. So if you guys get in there, get the notification bell. We'd like that. Hit a like on the video. So we appreciate that. Nicholas Hernandez says last year Angels wouldn't have come back like they did. Yeah, it is true, Nick. But I think we got to see them get the pitching down. Right now, we know they're going to score runs. I mean, look how long it took in those losing streaks to get over 4 or 5 runs. It took us sometimes 3 games. So you're talking about scoring 11 runs and losing. It's an improvement, but we still got the loss. It just shows you how short life really is. Live life every day like it's your last. That's always good to look at. Met also call up Bachman. Grillmaster says DFA Tapera wants Luke Desmia. Of course, he's going over the top. Adele is going to be a career minor leaguer, and it's sad if he is, but there's still a chance for him to turn it around. I'm just saying. I want to see how Joyce bounces back from the outing first before thoughts about bringing his ass up. And that's true, Randy, because that's not your normal performance, and he got pretty much nationwide exposure because of the type of game he came in and blew it. So yeah. Also, this entire team is terrible. Grillmaster says he wants to go off and just shit on the team, of course. Angels do now have a mental strength coach this year. Adele needs some one-on-one. Boy, if anything, Nats fan, if that's a point, they need to really, really get into it. The phone number to call is 714-598-3221. If you want to get on with me, ask me a question, just give me your thoughts about the game, or just say something in general. Again, R.I.P. Nick Aidenhart is the anniversary of his tragic passing, and also the two other victims I mentioned earlier that were in the car. So again, 714-598-3221. If you want to make a phone call, you should be able to get in. And there's the first phone call. Hey, it's the Halo Honk line.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Randy? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Really wanted to win that game, but I won't take much of your time. But dude, we hit the ball well, dude, in that series. And that's exciting. You know, it's like you said though, that freaking bullpen, dude, especially that back end. Like I was saying in the group chat, it scares me.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guys back there that I don't really trust. I don't know about all this bringing Ben Joyce up. I mean, could you imagine if an Angel did what he did the other night? He'd be burned at the stake here on the post game. So can we cool it on? Let's cool up Joyce. Like, dude, he literally just blew a freaking no hitter.
Yeah.
So he's young, so let's see how he bounces back these next couple of games, you know, before we start having any thoughts of that crap. Because he completely, his confidence could be completely shattered for all we fucking know, and go out there and have a 55 million ERA for the rest of the season. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a series I think we should have won, but, you know, we hung with them, and like I said, it could be a team we see in October. So who knows, man? At least we showed that we can hang with, you know, at least one of the beasts from the East so far. Still early in the season. We'll play the rest of them as the season goes on. So, but hey, that's one of those Giants we hung around with. So, you know we may see him again.
Yeah, the pitching, like you said, you know, they got to get into the roles. I think last year you saw that too. I don't think it was the actual pitchers. I think the pitcher, Madden was messing around with the roles too much last year. He had Loop coming in the fourth, fifth inning. You know, this year he's got to literally just say, hey, you know what, whoever it's going to be, and whoever you pick, go down with that guy you're going to pick. Don't be like, oh, it's bullpen by committee. I've always hated that. You have to tell these pitchers, hey, you're going to be the closer. Because then if it's bullpen by committee, you're going to give three guys, most likely three, Herget, Cajeda, and you're going to give Estevez the mindset of, hey, when I come in, you know, I'm going to be closer. So in the seventh inning, they're always sitting there like, wait a minute, he's calling me in now? Why is he calling me in? I'm the closer. Or they'll bring him in the ninth inning like, why are they bringing me in a non-closing situation? You're messing with their heads. Like you know, the other days when they brought in Estevez, I know you want to get him work, but you've already brought him in before with a 4-run lead. It's a non-save situation. Don't bring him in. Don't bring him in. Bring in somebody else. Let his mindset only focus on saving a freaking baseball game. You do that, you're going to get someone grab that closer position by the balls. Take it and run with it. You keep dicking around with these pitchers, putting them in spots they're not used to, putting them in spots that they're not made for. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And you're a guy that really, like, I notice when it comes to baseball, like, you seem to you have a lot of opinions on pitching, and you've been preaching that the last couple of years about, you know, guys in roles. You and Fernando, you guys in roles and mindsets and mind temperaments, and you know, and also heart rates. That fucking adrenaline, that plays a fucking huge role. Excuse me, that plays a huge role.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right, dude. And while we're on the subject of Estevez, like that, I don't trust that guy. It's like I said in the chat, I don't trust the dude. He scares me. I mean, the son of a gun came out of spring training still trying to figure out the whole whatever the hell they were trying to get him to do in spring training.
Yeah.
So, but positive. Can we get a positive out of this whole thing?
Let's get a positive. Let's get a Magic Johnson, shall we?
Let me get a honk real quick. Hunter Renfroe has finally arrived in Anaheim, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he's going to be needed all year. He's going to put up some numbers. He will put.
Hell yeah! Dude.
I guarantee you, when freaking Walsh gets in the lineup, I'm telling you, that guy's going to. Rendon stays healthy. Walsh stays in the lineup. You watch this lineup continue to bash the ball, and anything you get from Drury, watch out.
Yep. And how about old Hop, brother? How about old Hoppy?
You're right so far. You are right so far. He's on a great start.
Oh man, did you see the reaction this kid got all weekend from this fan base?
Oh yeah, yesterday. Remember when they announced the lineups? Those guys in front of us were booing him. Well, they're booing Theis because they're like, "Bro, I came for O'Hoppy."
Yeah, and O'Hoppy was just. I mean, he was getting reactions like he was making an appearance at the All-Star game.
Yep.
I mean, it's like I said, dude. I've seen it in this kid. There's just something about him, and I think I'm almost certain I'm on record saying that he didn't just come here, just to be a 250, give you a couple home runs. I mean, this kid is going to be a star, dude. He's going to be one of the top catchers in the major leagues, bro. And I mean, the maturity level of this kid already at a young age, and what he's showing us right now. I mean, what he's leading the team in RBIs right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can command this pitching staff. He's a great defensive catcher. I mean, you can just tell the night and day difference when he's out and then frickin' Theis is in. I mean, Theis couldn't keep anything in front of him to save his damn life.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know why the hell he was playing. I mean, I don't know why the hell he was playing last night anyway. I mean, shoot, that's what Sundays are for. Those are for Theis. You can play on Sundays on Sunday Family 4 ticket, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas day. Nobody cares. Screw you. I want to see Logan on Friday and Saturday night. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You can give Theis Wednesday in frickin' Chicago. I don't give a shit.
I'm over the Theis experiment, to be honest with you. I much rather have seen Wallach. I know Wallach didn't tear it up in spring training, but I think Wallach is more experienced. We saw it last year. He called better games. He's a much more intimidating guy in the box. He's got a pretty decent eye. Now, again, he's not going to blow.
Didn't he catch Reed Dittmer's no-hitter?
Yes, and he caught a couple shutouts as well. I mean, he had a good 2-week stretch last year where he was really doing really good. So I just think Wallach would have been a better choice. However, here's where the analytics come in. Oh, you don't want 2 right-handed catchers on there, so let's go with Theis and O'Hoppy. But then when Stassi comes back, you're in the same position anyway. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. I 100% agree with that, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really all I got, man. Like I said, it's a series I really feel like we should have swept. I mean, we just put ourselves in a position that we just really shouldn't have been. And you know what? Like I said, that could just be some early season shit. I don't see us losing too many games where we score freaking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 freaking runs, dude. So, hopefully this bullpen can get it together. Maybe we can get the right pieces in there. Some of these guys don't work out, but we need to run right through Washington coming up, and I forget who we got after that. But
Washington, Boston, and then friggin' New York.
Okay, well, those first 2 teams we need to handle that, and then we'll worry about New York when we get to New York. So
I look at it this way, bro.
I'm,
I know I said it before, Randy, real quick, but I'm taking the Pete Carroll approach this year. I'm not, I only make the predictions for the podcast, but in my mind, it's one game at a time. Let's go 1-0 today, and we went 0-1 today, so we got to change that for tomorrow. Let's go 1-0 on Monday.
Hey, I'm game with that too, man. Just get that dub, dude. Just get that freaking dub, brother.
That's all that matters.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. Thanks again for everything this weekend, brother, and we'll be talking to you.
Hell yeah, man. It was hella fun, man.
All right, man. See ya.
Later. That was Randy checking in there from Fresno. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs days for Theis and Stassi. Jim says, bless me, Todd, for I have sinned. I left in the 8th inning. Cardinals sin in baseball. Rick says, in my mind, we won. And then also Grillmaster says, Rendon actually was not bad in the series. He wasn't. So, again, that leaves the line open, 714-598-3221. Jim says, I agree with Randy and Renifo. Let's see, here's the next number here. It's the Halo Honk line.
Is this Todd Fox?
This is Todd Fox.
What's up, Todd? This is Dylan.
What's up, Dylan? How you doing, man?
Dude, it's been a while. I just love the offense, man. I'm just really scared about all those strikeouts. That's what I mean. Like, I get it. You got hits, but those strikeouts when in those key moments really bit us hard.
Yes.
That really just got me real triggered.
Yeah, I mean, It kind of shades from last year. I mean, you had some nasty pitches, but in this game today, with the umpires being so ass, or the umpire being ass, and it was kind of hard because some of those, I bet you Hoppy doesn't swing at those pitches, those sliders or I think changeups that were low and inside, but the strike zone was all over the place, man. Like some innings he was giving strikes on the far outside corner, and then some there was pitchers right inside the black a good few inches, and he's like, ball. So, I mean, it was hard for these guys to lay off some of those pitches, man.
Yeah, I'd just say, I think it was that pitch with, who was it? I think it was Trout. Or no, it was Tanya, actually. It was a pitch in the strike zone, really. No matter what, it was going to be a strike, but he took that took that pitch, and if he would have swung at that, dude, that would have been freaking home run or in a gapper somewhere, or at least in play, not a ground out, because he grounded out in that freaking last inning, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that was
kidding me. Like, I was about to say, like, you know what, Tommy's great, he's the GOAT, he's the unicorn, but sometimes in the moments in the regular season, he just kind of shit the bed. Of course, the WBC is different, because, he was facing, to be honest, they were crappy competition in the first pool, whatever, those guys were chumps. Mm-hmm. But when he faced tough for pitchers, he just kind of like swings at it radically. Like, dude, I get it, you're a power hitter, but God, don't freaking swing at something where it's like super in on you, dude. Like, take that pitch. It would have been a better count.
Yeah,
I get pissed off.
Until proven wrong, I think he has not been clutch in the ninth inning or game in the line type situation. He's been clutch in the middle of the game, like getting a big 3-run homer, big 2-run double.
Yeah.
The other night when he doubled, and they lost, I think, in game 1, and he was stranded at third, that was a clutch hit. And he just missed a home run in that one. He can come up and do that, but like you said, that pitch was right down the freaking middle. And the one time you want him to be aggressive, he does it. And the next pitch, because it set him up. The pitcher knew, okay, I'm not going to throw this next one in anywhere in the zone, and he threw it down and inside. And I bet you if Shohei connects with that one, it has the same result on pitch 3, because that all you could do with that pitch is ground it out, and he would have probably grounded out.
Yeah.
But you're right. He would have hit a home run, or he would have hit a double down the line. Something had he swung at that first one.
Oh yeah, I think that freaking last inning with Trout with that foul tip, I was looking through the freaking was the MLB something app whatever and showing that live gameplay whatever and the strike zone and all that. Anyway, I saw that and it said foul tip strikeout or something like that. Like when he makes contact with the catcher, he catch that ball still in midair and then the strikeout. I was like pissed. Like, how? Like, you kidding me? How do you not actually foul it off? Like, dude, foul it off completely. Make that whole contact foul off behind you. Make it go toward the fans. But you foul tip that? That's embarrassing. I just call that. I was like, damn it, child. Like, you were clutching up in the last other 2 games. Those 30-run homers, 2-run homers. Yeah, I was just like, God,
when Trout
so hard.
Yeah, when Kirk missed that ball, I thought that was the baseball gods giving us that game. I thought they were going to give us a walk-off home run right there, a walk-off single, something.
That's what they always do. What they always do, like, sometimes. Like, I remember when we played, I think it was last year, when we played the Astros, they were literally throwing the game for us, and somehow we lost. It's just like we always do that. Like, we never realize, hey, they're throwing the game. We should take advantage of it. No, we just like, nah.
Yeah, another team.
They're playing their hardest.
Yeah, another team would have got us. I think Toronto. I was thinking that was making up for all those stupid hits Toronto kept getting. I thought there's our chance right there to we had an early chance to score 3 runs. They helped us out there. Toronto had all the luck late in the game. Now we're gonna get our lucky break to take the win. And I thought for sure Trout was gonna come up there and just crank one or do something big, and it didn't come through. So I mean that's just how baseball is sometimes. I mean this was, if you want to talk about a roller coaster game, this was the epitome of a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Game. Yeah, to be honest, like, if I was there live, and I'm like, okay, that would have been fun, worth the money, 100%. But during, like, if you're watching on TV or at home, that's frustrating, actually, to be honest. I was like, fuck, I don't care, it's free, it's frustrating, this is bullcrap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because when you're live at the game, you're celebrating each run, and they scored about, 10 runs, and that's good enough to celebrate sometimes.
Absolutely. It should be anyway.
Yeah.
But
I think they're going to watch, the whole media is going to say that something Brandon Doyle or whatever bullcrap. They're going to say it tonight or whatever. They're gonna say that crap. Oh, Trout and Ohtani did so good or whatever, but they still lost. They're gonna do that tonight. Watch.
That's why I try to
Put my money on
stay.
it.
Yeah, I try to stay away from. Usually ESPN does that. MLB Network doesn't do that too much. They will take their shots when they get an opportunity, especially if any kind of trade talks are working out or if the Angels are finding themselves out of the playoffs. Yeah, you best believe I wouldn't be watching those programs because all they're going to be doing is talking trash. The best thing the Angels can do is keep winning, and that'll shut most of these idiots up.
Series, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, one last thing. They just need to freaking win those series. Like if they, if they would have won the game one, they would have probably just won 2 in a row. And if they would have lost today, well, so be it. At least we won the series. It's nothing like, split. So yeah. Anyway, good talk, and let's go Halos.
There you go, Dylan. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye.
All right, see ya. Jesus checks in with the Dodgers are not in first place. D-backs are in first place. Go figure. By the way, Todd. Oh, there's another phone call. Yeah, that's fast. It's a Halo Honk line.
Yo, it's Supra.
Supra, how you doing, my man?
That was one fuck of a game. Well, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like so shocked that the Jays came back, but even more shocked that we came back and felt like shit when we lost. I wish Ohtani swung at that first pitch, that 94-mile-an-hour right down the middle fastball. Man, he could have crushed that shit.
Yeah, I think everyone saw that there at the stadium, and then on TV, it's like, wow, dude. I mean, unless they told him to wait for a first pitch strike or something, I don't know, man. I still think he should have pulled the trigger right there.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Hoppy homered. Rendon had a pretty okay day. Renfroe had a pretty good day. Trout had a pretty good day. Yeah, everyone had a pretty good day except for Renifo.
Yeah, Renifo was ass out there today.
Yeah, Drury did okay. He had 1 home run finally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Ohtani's gonna win Rookie of the Year. I'm calling on it. I think I'm gonna call on it.
Yeah, a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon because he's looking pretty solid out there. He looks confident too. He doesn't look like a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm calling Ohtani for Rookie of the Year starting today. But the one thing he can improve on is framing. He needs to work on his framing. So I want you to guess on StatCast. Guess what his framing percentile is on StatCast from 1 to 100. Guess the number.
I'd say it's low, so I'm calling 22%.
1.
1?
1. Yes, 1.
Wow.
Yeah, he needs to work on that. Everything else is good, but framing is 1 percentile. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's kind of early in the season, but it's 1 percentile. I was like shocked. So like, he needs to work on his framing.
Yeah, that is a staple that has kept guys like God, what's the catcher down in Kansas City? He's an all-star and he's a great defensive catcher.
Perez. I think you're talking about Salvador Perez or.
God, that's not his name. Yeah, we got him. You got Maldonado who played here. He's in Houston, won a couple World Series. You had freaking the Molina brothers were great at framing. Buster Posey was a great framer. Will Smith for the Dodgers. I hate giving the Dodgers any kind of credit, but he's a great framer. Oh, there it is. Our boy Mathematic checks in with Salvador Perez.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Yeah, I think I said Salvador Perez, but okay, yeah, he's pretty good, but yeah, his framing's not that great. But yeah, if I have one complaint about Ohtani, it would be his framing. 1 percentile. At least give us like 30 percentile, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
His offense is pretty good. But guess what? I'll give you another surprise stat.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Fife, give 1 out of 100 percentile. Guess what his percentile is for framing?
I'll give him around 20.
No, 898.
8.9?
No, 98 percentile.
That's how good he freaking frames?
Yeah, you can look it up. It's 98 percentile.
See, I never noticed his framing, his defensive play, because I'm too busy ragging on his hitting. I knew he threw somebody out the other day, but
Yeah, so his framing is pretty good. It's,
okay.
I know it's early, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
So if because Matt Sassy is known for his framing, but Matt Tice is better at framing, then Matt Sassy's got to go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking for Stassi either, dude. I know he's going through some stuff right now personally, so I ain't gonna hate on him for that. But as a baseball player, dude, like I'm over that. I just am.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with Stassi, but I hope he's better. But as a player, we can't have that. We can't have right down the middle called strike 3, and we lose the game 2-1, bases loaded. We can't have that anymore, bro.
Yeah, we had enough of that last year. But all right, Supra. Well, thanks for the call, man, and thanks for those stats on the framing. I'm definitely going to be looking for that now.
Okay, yeah, because like one more thing, I want to add one more thing. Framing is going to cost a lot of runs. Like the ump was dog shit, dude. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that ump. Like one call, it was a ball. The same pitch, it's a strike. But like it's like one pitch can cost us like 4 runs. So like.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
like,
a lot different from starting a count, 2-0 opposed to 1-1, or even missing 2 straight pitches and it's 0-2 instead of 2-0. I mean, it's a huge difference, man. And I just felt like he was helping both offenses today. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, woe is me, we lost because of the umpire. No. He was calling it, but he was calling it erratic for both sides, and it did change how pitchers pitched and how hitters hit, and the hitters had the advantage today.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was pretty like Angel Hernandez type of performance.
Yes.
But okay, I'll pay attention to more of framing I'll tell you if Ohapi's numbers improve. I'm pretty sure it's gonna improve because it's only like 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, man. That's all I was gonna say.
All right, Super. Well, you have a good rest of your day, man.
All right, man. You too.
All right, thanks. All right, so Mathematic checks in with Salvador Perez. Yeah, Salvador Perez, I would love to have him on the Angels. World Series winner, terrific framer, awesome behind the plate catching, throws base runners out. He's talking about my facial hair. Luke was at the game. And Luke, hold on. It's the Halo Honk line. Hello?
Hey, Todd, it's Rob. What's happening, man?
Hey, what's up, Rob? How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good. I mean, could have been better today, right?
Oh, absolutely, dude. This one was definitely one that got away.
Yeah, 2 things, man, that really shine out to me is that the bullpen, those arms, and I don't know if anyone else is noticing this, but kind of seems like Madden's still around because there's a set list they go to of relievers who, this is your day, you're pitching, these are your days where you're pitching, you're my guy on these days, and Luke, Tepera, you're my guys on these days, man. I think Tepera's done. We've seen it last year. Estevez, I was not big on signing him. I'll talk about it more later in the podcast, but Joyce is still my guy. Yes, things will work out, of course, but there's something about rookie pitchers that, against these make good hitters, when there's no film or no tape on these guys, they don't know what to expect, so I think that's pretty good overall to have something in your repertoire like that. And if not, I'm still a big fan of Chris Archer. I understand he's a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Get a right-handed arm, or even go get Trevor Bauer. Now, people don't hate me for saying this. I understand the allegations made for him. He was never brought to a criminal court. He was never found guilty and all that stuff, because if that's the case, if we're saying he's guilty now, well, then so is Artie. So get the owner out of here. But we're all full Angel fans, right? You got to give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
I think, personally. But and the one thing on the last call is that the framing and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry about it right now, man. Look how many games in we are. That's like going and say, hey, Matt Chapman's the best hitter to ever play. Look at his average this year. Yeah, look, we're only a couple games in, right? We're not that far in overall. And Ohapi, looking at him, he's still trying to gain credibility with these umpires, too. It's like every good catcher does. But 9 games in, to say Theis is better than Ohapi at framing, I wouldn't worry about it. There's got to be pitches to frame, too, right? For you to bring it back in the zone.
Yeah, the pitching hasn't exactly been on point.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't worry too much about that. But my worry is bullpen right now.
Yeah, I mean, 3 of your 4 losses and only 9 games have come because of the bullpen. Obviously you got lit up in Seattle, and you count that as a true loss. You'd always say, "Oh, hindsight being 2020, we won a couple games we should have lost, vice versa." But when you're looking at the honkish side of it, you're looking at, man, we blew 3 games that after the 6th inning we were winning, and you should be able to either keep the pressure on to score enough runs to keep a lead, or because that's the other thing that's being taken out, that's being not looked at, is when you have a lead like that. Yeah, it's 6 runs or whatever. But my dad said it, why is Ohtani trying to steal a base, when they were up 6-0? I'm like, well, you never can have enough runs. And lo and behold, look what happens. So, I mean, you got to keep the pedal to the metal. If it pisses off the other team, well, stop us. You know what I mean? And that's been the Madden way before, where they just started swinging for the fences, getting easy outs, allowing the other team to stick around. You don't want to do that. I do like Nevin's approach to try to score more runs, but for whatever reason in those 3 games when they had the lead, they kind of weren't able to generate any runs off of the opposing bullpen, and then that gave enough time for the other team to come back, and it happened. And you had mediocre pitching. That's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at, too, if you look at Estevez overall, granted it's still early. I know I'm talking about Game 9 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far at a 162. But the guy has a walk every time he's pitched.
Yeah.
As a closer, walks kill you, right? You can't walk. They always score.
That's the cardinal sin. Jim talked about a cardinal sin earlier. That's the cardinal sin, my friend, that you brought up right now. You cannot walk anybody as a closer. I mean, that's just setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. And a guy with a 6'6" frame like Estevez has, is let it loose, let it go. Looks like he's holding back a little bit. But that's just that's what I think on that. And it's a disappointing loss today, but good game overall. Blue Jays, I agree with you. They deserved to win that game. They just outplayed us. It's nice to see a couple of guys get in the lineup and see the ball. And was it you or Randy last night saying that, hey, all of a sudden Renfroe, that ball's a beach ball to him. He sees it.
Yeah. It was. Randy was like, he just needs one to get himself going, and that double seemed to get it going. Now, like we both agreed, like he's just locked in right now. And that's good to see. And when you get Drury locked in, that's going to be even better. So maybe that home run got him off the schneid. Who knows?
Yeah, and then what's your take, too, on this sixth starter right now? You think they're going to go right-handed pitcher just to get away from the lefties? Because you play a series like this, you get a good team who hits right-handed or lefties hard, They can hit left-handed pitching, and we kind of see the effects of that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want to. Like, that was my biggest concern going into it was I had 2 big concerns. Could Ohapi grab that job and take it? And then he seemed to have alleviated that so far through the first 9 games. And then my second worry, I wasn't worried too much about the bullpen because I thought they'd use them like they did last year. But they're doing the same things, like you said, Madden. So my second biggest concern would have been I'm not liking the fact that we were 5 high in lefties in that starting rotation. We need a right-hander, and you know that too. And I would like for them to experiment with a right-hander in this Washington series, especially against another rookie. So, but I don't know, man. I think they're gonna, like they were saying on the telecast, they're going to try maybe Tucker Davidson. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple good matchups, and overall, Washington, looking at them, of course, are not good on paper. I mean, luckily for us, I know your boy Suarez is going against Patrick Corbin, so knock on wood, Corbin here has a little rough outing for the past year or so. He's been struggling, but if you look at Mackenzie Gore or Josiah Gray, I mean, these aren't pitchers that are bad pitchers at all. I mean, these are quality guys. They're prospects who are coming up in the major leagues, and they're going to put up quality pitches against the Angels. So I think it's kind of iffy on if we walk through the series easily.
Yeah, that's true. It's not gonna be easy, man. I think we all think we're gonna walk in there and curb stomp them, but again, I rather see it one game at a time. Let's just take care of Corbin and see where it goes from there. Because they got to get these guys in a roll. I want to see Suarez bounce back from that Seattle game. That was a terrible start for him. And if you haven't seen one of the shorts that James puts on his page, they said that outside of Suarez's fastball, he's got one of the more devastating changeup and sliders in all of baseball. It just doesn't throw it enough. He throws his fastball way too much.
Joe Madden effect.
What's that?
That's the Joe Madden effect. Doesn't
Yeah.
ever pitch backwards. I noticed that. If you watch these other teams, what successes some of these young pitchers have pitching backwards. It's an 0-0 count. Drop in that slider for a strike, or drop in that changer for a strike right away.
That's
Plenty
all.
of teams done it against Otani and Trout.
Yeah, it's all about confidence. You don't always have to throw a get me over fastball. Sometimes a get me over fastball gets over the fence. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
All right, brother. Thanks for taking the call, man. And that clown suit freaked me out.
I got a lot of that too. You should have seen it, man. I scared as many people as I made happy the other day. So I'll tone it down on the next clown outfit.
I appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Have a good one, man.
You got it. Juan's saying we needed that clown at the game today. I couldn't go 3 days in a row. If I could have, I would have. And that makeup was hard to take off, by the way. It's the Halo Honk line.
Fucking bullpen. Piece of shit. God garbage.
Is this Rally Chris?
Yeah, is this 2022 all over again? Because this piece of shit looks like it. God damn it.
It was the problem was the rally monkey today. The rally monkey couldn't rally the pitching. He rallied the hitting, but not the pitching.
Yeah, because it's stupid bullpen. Or I mean the blowpen. I mean.
Yeah, the blowpen did not come through today, man. Again, I'll throw it on both sides. The umpire was not helping the pitchers out there, and then the pitchers were not helping themselves. They were throwing quite a few beach balls. You as an outfielder / infielder today, Rally Chris, you could not be bored on the field. The ball was going to come your way at some point, and you had to be alert. It was one of those days where, you had to make some outs in the outfield or in the infield to get the job done today. It wasn't going to be one of those games where you had just massive amounts of strikeouts or easy outs. The ball was flying into the gaps and everything today.
Yep.
So. Well, Rally, we got to we got to take this series at home here. It would be nice. Look, what would and I know I said one game at a time, but let's just say the Angels sweep the Nationals, and you go 4-2 on this 6-game homestand before you leave. It's not that bad, okay, we blew a couple games, should have won, but all in all, we're 2 games over 500 on the homestand. Let's see what we do on the 7-game road trip in Boston and New York. But if you lose one of those games, you're 3-3 at home, then it's instant regret. You're like, God damn it, we could have did a whole lot better.
Right, because we could have, if you would have won on Friday and today, we could have easily swept the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
We could have swept them.
Yep. We led in every game. Simple as that. Led in every game after the 6th inning. So, sucks. Right. But yeah, you got anything else for today, my man?
No, but on the bright side, at least those Dodgers lost.
Yeah, at least the Dodgers are off to a struggling start too. Go figure. The team they've pretty much handled the last 10 years has actually beat them up early on. I know it's early, but they've gotten them. I mean, they scored 12 runs on them was it 12 today? 12 yesterday and 11 today. So that's 23 runs their team's given up in 2 games. So at least we're not that bad. So there you go. Promote the TikTok real quick.
Yeah, follow Hales Mainfield on TikTok, and close to 1,000.
There you go. So TikTok is growing as we speak. All right, Rally Chris, you have a good rest of your Easter Sunday, my man.
All right, you too.
All right,
going to beat those Nationals.
There you go. Go Angels. All right, so that's Rally Chris right there. Wayne says Austin Warren had a great spring in pitching well in AAA. He's already has experience. He should be the first to get called up. Joyce is walking everybody, so he's not ready. Totally agree right there, Wayne. You want to go with some experience if you have it in the minors, which they do. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly.
You enjoyed the loss, Grillmaster?
I am beyond pissed off right now because the only thing I want to yell is.
Yes.
You need to win games like that.
Yep.
And here's another note, Todd. I don't know if you brought it up. We struck out, I believe, between 13 and 15 times today. I turned the game on in about the 9th inning before we got the rally against Romano.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got to the 10th, I believe after one of the guys struck out, I believe Terry or Mark said that we had now struck out between 13 and 15 times. And then I asked myself, is Sorrento back in the dugout again?
Yeah, I'm trying to see right now with at-bats. Okay, so you have 42 at-bats in a game. So the Angels had 42 at-bats, 14 of which are strikeouts. Now,
that's 1/3 of your at-bats.
Yes, however, you go back to last year, we had 14 strikeouts and 27 outs. That's more than half of your at-bats. So although they struck out 14 times today, I'm not tripping about that because we scored 11 runs on 13 hits. We had 11 RBIs, 4 home runs, and 5 walks, 42 at-bats. Now, Grillmaster, you tell me we struck out 14 times in 27 at-bats, then yes, I have a problem with that. Like we saw a lot of that last year. I mean, hell, one time, didn't we strike out 20 times in 27 at-bats?
Yes, that was a walk-off loss to Houston. I remember Jeremy Pena hit a 2-run walk-off homer off a 10th that game.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have games like this where I can overlook the strikeouts because there was a lot of runs being put in play, a lot of, balls being put in play. It's those games where you don't put the ball in play and you're still striking out a grip, you know what I mean? And then, you're wasting outs. Would I've loved to have seen them get a few more bunts and stuff like that? So I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. But it's still, you would like for them to trim those strikeouts. But again, they were at least scoring some runs and putting stuff in play.
Well, they never bunted in extra innings, and you preached the bunt. The only person we've seen bunt this year is the struggling David Fletcher that you saw him do that push-squeeze bunt in the middle of Game 1.
Yeah, exactly.
The only bunt we've had this year. Who was up in the 10th inning? Let's see, who do we have starting at the at-bat? Was it Rengifo who led off the inning? And I think we had Drury on second. By the way, Drury I have not been happy with him when it comes to big situations. Sure, he hit the home run, but he struck out in the 9th when he had a chance to win, and he's disappointing me right now.
Well, yeah, and another thing to go on the strikeouts and Drury. Drury had the hat trick with strikeouts with 3. So did Trout. You had 4 from Renifo, who got the Nacho night. But you look at it right there with those 3.
Who got that.
With those 3 players, Renifo, Drury, and Trout, you had 10 strikeouts right there. So
that's pathetic.
Yeah, you got 10 strikeouts from 3 players. That's the problem today. And you would think, okay, if Trout doesn't strike out in 2 of those at-bats, at least putting the ball in play or getting a hit, chances are they score the run. We're not talking about a loss. So that's what this game can come down to.
And if Kirk doesn't make that catch, we're not talking extra innings. We're talking a 10-7 loss.
Yeah, we're talking about a blown game right there. Another blown opportunity. Yep.
And yes, which means I'm going to need to make my short form recap, which I hope you all have been watching. I'm going to need to name this episode Buttercup and come up with a shitty name because I had such a great name in store for if we won this series, which would have been called Tag Team back again because let's see if you can guess why.
Why is that?
Because Trout and Doppelganger were some of the more impactful players in this series. I mean, it took Renfroe until Game 2, but Renfroe was probably one of the most impactful players in this series for the Angels, I believe.
Oh yeah, and he's finally he's going to get into his normal swing of things like he did with Milwaukee and Tampa, and he'll get going. So right now I'm not worried about that dude. I was never worried about that guy. Drury's a guy that's going to worry me. Renifo's going to be the guy that's worried me because Renifo needs the playing time, and Drury switching teams. With the pressure of him liking this team when he was a kid, he might be trying a little too hard right now. So if he can get it going and Renifo can get going, I'm telling you, the lineup shouldn't be something we're worried about this year. I think we should be focused in on that bullpen and the starting rotation guys making the right pitches or at least being in the right spots in the rotation.
And I was happy with Devers. I was surprised he was doing that great, but you load the bases. Where's Matt Moore?
I don't know. I mean,
you never used him.
well, yeah. Well, the thing is that they're doing too is we're going back to the Matt Moore. I'll comment on your comment there, Dugout Talk. Give me a second here, but yeah, I think what they're doing right now with the pitching is they're using that Madden look on things like, hey, we can't pitch guys back to back, stuff like that. It's a major freaking leagues, dude. I remember when they used to pitch guys 4 days in a row. So
We do not need. Come on, we fired Cotton Eye Joe. We don't need Cotton Eye Joe mentality.
Exactly. If you're gonna, I mean, you pay these guys millions to get the most out of them. Especially, look, if I'm a manager and I know I got a guy in a 1-year contract, I'm going to pitch the shit out of him because he's going to want to pitch every game because he's going to want to show himself off. He's pitching for another contract, whether it's here in Anaheim or somewhere else. So a guy like that, I'd be like, hey, man, you want to pitch again today? Hell yeah, they're going to raise their hand. But we're like, no. We're telling them not to pitch instead of we should be telling them to pitch. And if they got an ego, then them tell us no, they don't want to. But no. We should be in control of this. And I think that's the problem we're having right now is we're coddling these pitchers still. And then we're using the excuse that it's too early, but that didn't work last year. Last year we were still pitching guys 1 day on, 1 day off in late August. So I don't want to hear any of that excuse either.
There's one note. There was a point actually. I believe we did use Estevez 2 to 3 days in a row this season. So yeah, we've done it once. But then here's something with the Jays closer. So we all know that Jordan Romano is a very good pitcher. He's the Jays closer, and he's got 2 very elite pitches, and that's all he needs because of his talent level. Today, this was the 4th time in 6 days that he pitched.
Yeah.
4 times, 6 days.
Yeah.
If you can do that to a guy like Jordan Romano, you can easily throw someone you could probably throw Aaron Luke in that category. He could probably do that. He's experienced enough. Same with Tepera.
They've done that in their career. I mean, Tepera pitched a hell of a lot in Chicago. His numbers didn't come close to what he did in Chicago last year. We didn't use him enough.
Which Chicago?
I think he was in the Cubs.
The Cubs or the Sox?
Oh, no, he was on the Sox. I'm sorry, he was on the Sox. So.
Gotta remember, he pitched for both sides.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let me get to a couple more of these.
This is very, very disappointing. If the Angels do not sweep the Nationals, I'm going to probably go scorched earth again like I did today.
Well, yeah, I mean they got it. They got to get the job done, but you got to take one game at a time, my man. That's all it is because this is a long freaking season. I'm not poo-pooing these games because these count. I'm not one of these Angel fans. It's like, oh, okay, don't worry, it's April. It's like, no, Dick. When you lose the division by 5 games, you're gonna look back and be like, why did we suck? Oh, why did we not make the playoffs? Oh, that's right, we had a losing record in April.
You lost the Nationals.
Yeah, exactly.
And you also got to note this. Houston isn't going to suck like this forever. They may be playing Pittsburgh tomorrow, but look, if Detroit can take 2 of 3 from them, then Pittsburgh can do just the same.
Yeah, and you'd like to build a nice little lead. Put a little pressure on Houston for once, because right now Houston's not looking at the standings. They're World Series champions. They'll try to kick it in when the time's right for them. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but remember that the World Series hangover is really real. So I was asking myself, are they experiencing the World Series hangover?
It's too early.
Even the best teams experience the World Series hangover every now and then.
It's too early, my man. If they're still like this in July, then I'd be like, hell yeah, they're in trouble. But right now, I don't believe it. Dusty Baker's too good of a manager to let that happen. So that's just my opinion.
Well, we're lucky today because everybody in our division lost.
But see, we couldn't put up
Texas. They won.
We couldn't put up that Ice Cube meme today about today was a good day because Dodgers lost, our division teams lost, but magically we didn't help ourselves out. We didn't win either. So
when you said Ice Cube meme, when you keep saying Ice Cube, I keep thinking of Ice Ice Baby, but that's completely different.
Yeah, it's a little different, just a tad.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we got to go through the Ice Ice Baby next time. What? I'm kidding.
Oh my God! All right, Grill Master, you have a good rest of your Easter Sunday, man.
All right, you too, Todd. See you later.
Later. All right, Dugout Talk. Yeah, he said, Todd, what's up? I saw you wearing the Halo honk, and I was going to introduce myself, but I was in line for my food and didn't want to lose my spot. Bro, you're tall as fuck. Yeah, dude, I'm like 6'4", dude. So, Halo honk line. It's the Halo honk line.
Is this Halo Honk the Clown?
This is Honky Honk.
Oh, there you go. Different than the dancing honky tonk.
Exactly. And I was accused of putting whiteface on yesterday.
Well, I mean, hey, It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
At least I don't think that would get you in particular canceled.
I should
So-
get canceled for that. I mean, I have white face on no matter what, whether I put makeup on or not.
That's fair. That's fair. Man, I definitely wanted today's game. Obviously, I don't want to get personal. You know I'm going through some shit, so I really wanted the game today. But, this is one of those games where, you just got to tip your cap to a well-played ball game by the Blue Jays. Honestly, this isn't a game that really sucked to lose. We should have won. We should have pulled it out. A couple of pitches there that just didn't go our way. Obviously, Ohtani grounding out to end the game. It wasn't ideal. But, let's face it. Who else would you want up in that spot? Ohtani's the guy. If I would have asked you, Todd, hey, here's going to be the situation, you would have picked, maybe Renfroe because he's hot. You would have picked Trout, and then you would have picked Ohtani. It would have been one combination of those three guys that you wanted in that spot. Sometimes it just happens like that. You have your best horse in there, and, they can't pull it out all the time. The greatest players of all time in this game fail 70% of the time. So it was a tough one. Overall, I'm still not completely unhappy with where the Angels are looking at this point of the season. We could be talking about a team that only has one loss. We got our cheeks clapped against Oakland. But I don't know. As happy as I am that baseball's back, I'm also on the stop the count mode. Like, hey, let's just stop the count. Let's just go to the playoffs right now.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we want results, but it's going to take a while to get there. And we want to think that this team is going to be good enough to get there, and I think they will. But when you have losses like this, you question yourself. You question your predictions. Some have been right so far. Some have been wrong. And, we just have to see what happens again tomorrow. My boy, like this has been brought out, Suarez pitches tomorrow. And I'm looking for a bounce back in the worst way from him.
Yeah, he desperately needs one. He's still such a young kid that too many of these big losses or too many losses that people were expecting to pitch well, that stuff takes a toll on a young pitcher. If we're talking about a Max Scherzer, a Justin Verlander, those losses don't matter as much because those guys are veterans. They've been there, they've done that. But Jose Suarez hasn't, for a sustainable period, been there and continued to do that. He has those hot stretches, but he also has those really cold stretches. So Jose Suarez really, really needs to pull one out here. Same thing with, Reed Detmers today. He needed to pull one out. He didn't look as bad as he did in his first start, but, man, it's just tough day for sure for the Angels. Tough series.
Well, let me ask you a question, Fernando. When it comes to, and this is what guy I keep putting, I may be wrong. Let me get your take on it, but I keep wanting to compare to. I keep wanting to compare Suarez to Framer Valdez from Houston, because and stay with me on this point. See if you agree or disagree on this. Framer, when he came up with Houston, he was much the same. Fringe reliever, mid-relief guy, fringe starter. He got his chance, went always about 4 or 5 innings for a good season or so, and then turned it up a notch, got into the 7th inning, and all of a sudden, the next season, which was last season, he just turned into an ace. And he's at that spot where he's elite now, and he's anchoring the rotation. I don't think Suarez can go that far, but he has a similar delivery, in my opinion, and I think he has stuff to get himself and keep himself as a reliable starter, not an ace, but as a reliable. Do you at least agree on that or can see that?
Yeah, I didn't want to laugh when you said it, so I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to take out the honk. I understand where the mentality is there. The thing with Jose Suarez is nobody has ever questioned the fact that the guy is talented. The guy has stuff. Clearly, we see it. We see it in flashes. Mm-hmm. He catches lightning in a bottle. It's just maintaining the ability to continue to harness that lightning. That's what he doesn't have. The guy has an edge. The guy has fun. The guy looks grateful every time he's out there. And at the end of the day, those are the kind of guys you want on your team. You look at some players and you're like, well, that guy's an a-hole. The players probably don't like him, like my boy, Escobar. You can tell the guy was a locker room cancer. I don't think Jose Suarez is that guy. And those are the kind of guy that people want to play for. Those are the kind of pitchers that your defense wants to be behind. And I think Jose Suarez has that mentality. He has that stuff. The guys probably like playing behind him because he looks at the kind of guy who's grateful. Like Patrick Sandoval when what was his name? Rosarena made that catch in the World Baseball Classic. he was over there hyping up the catch and everything.
Yep.
So those are the kind of pitchers that the defense wants to play behind because they know that the pitcher, I just made a catch for this guy to preserve his shutout. He's going to buy me dinner tonight. Those are the kind of guys that people want to play behind. I think Jose Suarez is that guy. I think he can be that guy. And I don't think you had a bad comparison, man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like, man, you're way off. You need your head examined. But I don't.
Well, you did tell me that the Super Mario movie was good, so maybe you do. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good reviews, so maybe that's another thing you got away with.
Well, yeah. Well, the only thing I'll defend myself on that one is, again, if you're a video gamer and you grew up playing Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, Super Mario Brothers, you'll hear every song in some capacity from those video games. You'll see Easter eggs all over the place. It's pretty funny. Took the kids. It was hilarious. I liked it a lot, and so it gave memories to me. So hell yeah, I'm all for it, dude. But yeah, maybe that's a bad take too. Maybe I'm 0 for 2 today.
maybe, but no, you got to spend Easter with your family. So you didn't go 0 for the entire day. So at least you had that good, the good of hanging out with your family.
Yeah.
But thanks for taking the call, man. I wish we both could have been right. We could have got the Rally Chris 2 out of 3, like he always says.
Yep.
But we got the wrong 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we did. we need Randy on that meme right away. The Rally Kiss 2 of 3, man, because that would have come into play.
Don't worry. Since you and I don't get to do a prediction show for this series, it'll be the weekly roundup show. I'll give you my prediction for the National Series. We're going 2 for 3. That time we're definitely taking a 2 for 3. I think Courtney and I said 1 for 3 this series. You were the one who said 2 for 3.
Yep. So you guys nailed it.
But yeah, 2 out of 3 for Nationals for sure.
Okay. Well, I think I'll take the same if we're gonna make the predictions now too. I'll go 2 of 3. Rally Chris special, baby.
Well, I look forward to seeing what Randy and Rob have to say then about their predictions. Tune into their show. They do a great job.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, man. All right, bro. Stay up, Fernando.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You're on the Halo Honk line.
Yeah, I want to talk about Estevez. I just don't see this guy as a closer. He doesn't throw enough strikes. There's nothing in his career that's shown that he could be a closer. He's not young. He's in his 30s. So why are we assuming this guy is going to be our closer? Is it because we don't have anybody else or what?
That's probably the way it shakes out because they look at his overall stuff and they're saying, okay, well, he has the stuff to close. Now you're right. He's he hasn't really shown it for the Angels or for the Rockies, and they're trying to slide him into this role, thinking that maybe he has the right mentality for it. His numbers speak volumes, I guess, with Colorado last year. But again, if you look at his overall numbers, let's see, I'm going to pull them up right now because let's see, save opportunities in 2016, he was 11 out of 18, 0 for 2 in 19, 21 for 4, 2021, 11 for 17, and 2 for 6. So 47 save opportunities, 25 total saves. That's just over 50%. So yes, you're right. Why is he the closer? I don't know, but that's what they're looking at.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I think Quijada is a better guy right now, and I don't see this guy coming in and shutting guys down. He struggled against Oakland. He didn't give up a run, but he couldn't come in and just get 3 quick outs. I don't see anyone in our bullpen doing that, and that's what scares me going forward.
It's a legitimate concern of yours. I totally agree because my thing is, look, and I agree with you. Quijada has that closer's mentality. He's got the closer's stuff. He's got the charisma. My only problem with him is when the game is, he gets a little overhyped and overthrows the fastball a little bit. If he just can control his fastball a little bit more, he's got devastating stuff. His off-speed stuff is great.
Yeah, he's very talented. I think you're right. I think it's a mental thing. He gets a little too wound up. And if we could just get him to keep the highs and the lows mentally to be a little bit more stable, I could see him developing by the end of the year into our 9th inning guy. I could see Moore being our 8th inning guy, but the rest of the bullpen, I'm really, really worried about it. I'm not confident in Tepera. I'm not confident in Loop. I'm just not confident in any Barrera or any of these guys we got. I don't see anyone Wentz. No one can come in and just give us a clean inning, 1, 2, 3, and get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing I would say to that would be Herget. But even Herget, he got tapped the other day. But he reminds me of like a Scott Shields. Like he's always dependable. He's not going to make too many bad pitches. But other than that, I mean, you're right. I mean, like it just doesn't feel right now. And it might take us a month or two, hopefully, to get things together. But it just doesn't feel right at the moment.
I like Herget. I think he's got the stuff. He pitched well for us last year. He reminds me a little bit of Gene Nelson. I don't know if you remember Gene Nelson with the Oakland A's back when they had that great run in the late 80s. He was the sixth inning man or the seventh inning man that would come in before Honeycutt and Eckersley. And they just had that 1, 2, 3. They had Nelson, Honeycutt, Eckersley. I can see Herget being that guy, that seventh inning or sixth inning guy. But my concern is it seems like our starters outside of Ohtani, they go well for about 5 innings. And they get into the sixth, and just for whatever reason, they just start to lose control. I've seen it several times this year. We saw it last year. As soon as we get into the sixth inning, I just go, oh, no. Because I see them, I don't know if they're losing stamina or they're just losing control over the game. And we just don't have that deep bullpen that can come in and close the deal.
Yeah, I have to agree right there because it's one of those things where, like say for instance last year with Raciel Iglesias, he never changed his temper until he got that third out and then he celebrated. You knew what you were getting with Raciel. He rarely shit the bed. You had more of a, towards the end of the year last year, even when Raciel was gone, you had guys getting into their roles. And like I said earlier, I preach about the roles a lot. These guys need to know where they're going to be at certain times, so it affects their stretching. Because it could be me or you out there in the bullpen. If you're a setup, or if I'm a setup guy and you're a closer, and all of a sudden Nevin goes to you and says, "Hey, you know what? I want you up in the seventh inning." You're like, "Wait a minute, I don't do that." And I didn't even start stretching yet. I haven't ran. I haven't done anything else like that. All that matters. If you just have a bullpen by committee, you got to be on your toes the whole time. It plays with your mentality. Because you're paying attention to the game, too, like everyone else is, and okay, the next 6 batters are this, and that guy. There's a chance I'm going to face Guerrero in the 8th, and then maybe if I'm pitching in the 9th inning, I'll see this guy. You know what I mean? Like, you're already setting yourself up mentally. So if you don't have a guy that you have faith in, that you're going to run out there, this moving guys around, juggling the rotation, the bullpen, it's just not going to work, man. And I don't think we have that going for us. And the fact, like you said, mediocre pitching too. We don't have the right pitchers, and so we might have to go outside of the organization to solve that. Bringing up rookies, in my opinion, you're still going to hit rookie lumps, so you're going to be in the same spot. It's okay to bring up one, but I would add a couple of veterans. You know what I mean?
I think it's a trade deadline or before. We're going to have to go outside the organization to get some veterans, some quality arms. We need to get at least a couple of them to come in, and maybe we can do that. I am excited for this team. I do think our offense is much better. They're much more exciting to watch. Last year, after 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, it was like we would just go we had nothing going, and especially our bottom 3. And this year with Urchela, he's hitting well. He's, like you said, you made a good point about him getting singles. It's all we need from him. Logan O'Hoppy's getting the job done offensively. He's bringing some pop. And Rafifo has been getting on base, though. I guess he didn't have a very good game today. But, I am excited for the team. The bullpen is the weakness, and I think it's going to determine the outcome of how we do the season. I love the podcast, and I wish you the very best of luck, and I'll look forward to hearing what you have to say about the season going forward.
Awesome. Appreciate the call. Call in anytime. What's your name again? Because you didn't give it in the beginning.
This is David Nazzaro.
David Nazzaro. Okay. Good to talk to you, David. We'll look forward to hearing from you some more moving forward. Have a good
All right, buddy. Cheers.
Yeah, you too. Have a good Easter. All right, that was Mr. Navarro right there. As we wrap up today, I just want to get into 714 Tickets is the place to go if you have not heard before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. 10% off of your purchase by just mentioning Halos in the Infield, which is HITI, H-I-T-I abbreviated. You get 5% back on a purchase for future tickets, which is awesome. And then also you get into the running for a free jersey courtesy of us and them. I think we're going to take this last phone call. I already know who this is. He's been late right before I get every other phone call. Big Hammer, what is up, my man?
What up, Todd? I'm super tired today on Easter Sunday because Angels put me to bed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they got everyone's hopes up today and just to dash them.
Yeah, but I'm watching the Sunday Night Baseball game on ESPN, and I'm sleeping because I've been partying all week, and I'm trying to get ready to sleep because I need to get ready for school tomorrow. And yeah, I've been partying all week, so I got to get my sleep back.
Okay. And
yeah.
So you're... Oh, go ahead.
But other than that, I wish we would have took 2 out of 3, and hopefully this next series we take 2 out of 3 or sweep the Nationals against Rendon's former team.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that as we move forward because I mean, again, you don't want to lose series. Like we got series coming up, obviously, with every team in baseball. We play the Pirates, play the Nationals, we play the Marlins, Oakland some more, Detroit. Those are the teams you got to clean up against. I can understand if you lose 2 of 3, although you should have won 2 of 3 today. You got to clean up against teams like that. So again, hopefully they show up against the Nationals.
Yeah. And like on Friday night, we were there, and I was like watching. I'm like, wow, this team's finally changed. And then they go back right to the same old stuff. Or show a launching, and then strike out, and then whatever, Rengifo ground out to end the game. Like they went right back to the old team last year on Friday night.
Yep.
And today, I saw that too. Today they did that too.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later. Happy Easter Sunday, and I'll call in tomorrow night and Tuesday night when Ohtani pitches, and hopefully we win tomorrow night, and I'll be watching on Tuesday night when Ohtani wins.
There you go, brother. We're looking forward to that. That's for sure. And by the way, if you want to get out to the Angel Stadium, they're only $10 tickets, so come on. If you can make it to a midweek game, I would suggest to do it this week. So there you go.
I can't because of school.
All right, brother. Well, you stay up, and I'm sure you will. And remind me next time we're at the game, I got to get you a Shirley Temple.
Okay, got it.
All right, bro. Later, man.
All right. Have a good Easter. Happy Easter Sunday.
All right, you too, man. Thank you. All right, so there you go right there. So it looks like everyone dropped off mostly on Instagram, which is good because I'm trying to get everyone over to YouTube. And I appreciate everyone that's listening on YouTube. Again, an Instagram feed is kind of shitty, and it's much, much better on YouTube. So if you can like and subscribe over there, we'd greatly appreciate it. It helps the numbers. And, check us out over there. We get much better feed. And we're, a lot of people say, well, I like Instagram because the comments. But we do have some outspoken people on Instagram. But if we can get them over there to YouTube, that'd be much better. Because at some point, I'm going to make the decision to either cut off Instagram altogether and just have it uniformed either on YouTube or have a Rumble as well. Both of those together. Because Rumble is another one it's actually a startup. It's another YouTube, and they're easy to stream off of as well. So there you go. So with that being said, thank you so much again for checking in. We're looking forward to another week of Angels baseball. So far through the first 9 games, we are 5-4. A bit disappointing because you could be sitting there at least at 7-2 at this moment. But hey, feed off the next game. Let's move forward and let's not look back. We'll compare about stuff later on. I mean, at least we're not Oakland getting shut out twice in a row on consecutive days, 11-0. That is pathetic, by the way. Oakland is, I predicted them to win only 47 games this year, and I might be right. That was more of like a joke on Oakland, but goddamn, you lose 22-0 in back-to-back games, like literally 11-0 twice. I don't think I've ever seen the same blowout score twice in a row with the same 2 teams. So at least we're not Oakland. And again, if you guys are jealous of the Doyers gave up 12 runs today, 11 runs yesterday. or 12 yesterday, 11 runs today. So they gave up 23 runs, and they're not exactly lighting things up themselves. So I'm just trying to stay positive here, guys and gals. Although we could be a lot better, we could be those teams. So right now, again, we're sitting there in first for whatever it matters to anybody, because I don't start counting standings really unless we're like 4 to 6 games out in May. Then I'm stressing because I don't want to be out of it by the All-Star break. But right now, as it sits right now, to be 5-4 and be right there and not in kind of the thick of things, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. The team will get going, and then we'll see where we go from there. But for right now, you take the good with the bad, you move forward. So I think the Angels will be all right with this National Series, and we'll see what happens. So, again, check out our sponsor, 714 Tickets. Check out the podcast. Wherever you listen to them, give us a 5-star right there. Check out the YouTube page and like and subscribe. And look for my clown ass to be at the stadium at some point here coming up, dressed all up in the gear if you haven't seen it. I think Randy's going to be posting some stuff about the Angel game we went to. Got a lot of good audio from the game. I did the whole walkthrough, took a lot of pictures. It was fun. I mean, I had the time of my life last night. It was so much fun. But we're going to have some more stuff and maybe some giveaways next time I go dressed up, which probably be later in the month. I don't think it'll be on the next homestand, but we'll see. So everyone have a good rest of your Easter Sunday. I know I've been trying to get off here. It's been a long show, but it's been also a crazy series, and this was a roller coaster one. Angels lose today, unfortunately, but we'll